Hey everybody, just wanted to make a quick video. I thought about doing a written post, but figured a video would be more efficient for me. And I've definitely been trying to get more content out there. So today I wanted to talk about LeoStrategy. So this has been really interesting. It kind of all started when I put out a thread, and I said, obviously Michael Saylor's been in the news pretty heavily with Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. So I put out a thread and talked about, the idea of what if there was, a Michael Saylor and a MicroStrategy, but for Leo, where their mandate was to acquire as much Leo as possible, and essentially use the same playbook as Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, but apply it to Leo instead of Bitcoin. So that's how it all started. I put out that idea a few weeks back, and then a few Leo whales reached out to me, and then a few days later, LeoStrategy was born from them. So obviously they're staying pretty anonymous and using LeoStrategy as its own thing, its own account. But like I said, I definitely trust the people behind it. So obviously do your own research. If you're not comfortable with that, I would not recommend getting involved with it. It's something where you got to gauge your own comfort level. That being said, their idea is literally what I put out as a thread, which is can we copy the MicroStrategy Michael Saylor playbook and apply it to acquiring as much Leo as possible, and essentially generating a creative yield, which again very similar terminology to what MicroStrategy uses when they talk about Bitcoin. So the introduction post that they put out really explains, all the thinking and how they're doing it, all the tokenomics and everything. So I won't go into too much detail behind all of that. I'll just kind of give the quick highlight reel that, there's a million LSTR that can ever exist. They've got it listed at 100,000 LSTR tokens are available, set in, obviously for sale in Hive on Tribal Dex and BSwap. So I'll link all this stuff for them below. But I think it's really interesting that they're aiming to essentially use the initial sale to acquire as much Leo as possible, and then that would be used as the basis for their balance sheet to then earn yield on the platform by curating, and then in addition go out and try to get loans against the Leo so that they can buy more Leo and put that as staked Leo in their account and just kind of rinse and repeat that, very similarly to how MicroStrategy has done. I know they also mentioned, an at the market issuance of tokens as well, which is what MicroStrategy does too. So it is literally the MicroStrategy playbook, but applying it to Leo. And personally, I think it's going to work out. I know the people that are doing this, and I know that they have the connections to do it, because at the end of the day, the main thing we need to see is, can they first of all buy all the Leo, because they need to sell the 100,000 LSTR tokens to buy their initial stack of, I think it's going to be probably around 1.5 million Leo, just based on kind of simple math. But if they end up with somewhere between 1 and 2 million Leo, that's kind of their initial stack, and then they need to go out and get loans against that Leo so that they can buy more Leo and stake all of that so that they can curate and earn accretive yield, and just kind of rinse and repeat that strategy. So given the people that are behind it, I think that they have the connections and can go out and get those loans. So I'm pretty confident in their ability to do that. Obviously, if they're successful, two real major things happen. One, they buy up a bunch of Leo, which is great for the Leo price, and I'm a big supporter of them doing that. And two, anyone that's holding LSTR or buys LSTR now or in the future is getting leveraged exposure to Leo. So it's basically like an ETF that tracks the price of Leo, but it will do it with leverage. So will that end up being 2x or 3x or 4x exposure to Leo? I don't know. It's just hard to say until things kind of get bigger and start to unfold. But I think it would probably be somewhere in the range of like 2 to 4x exposure to Leo. So it's like if you have $1 and you want to get, and I saw some comments about why would anyone buy LSTR. If you had $1 and you want to get exposure to Leo, obviously buying Leo is a great strategy and you can buy it and stake it. But I think an extra strategy in your toolkit could be, okay, well, I'm going to buy LSTR, and each dollar I spend on LSTR is going to be worth basically $2 in Leo exposure. So I think that that's really where the value prop comes into play with something like LSTR. So, like I said, I want them to be really successful, and it's a good thing for Leo. It's a good thing for the platform and the growth of the token. In my opinion, we've talked a lot about having like positive whales that are doing good things for the platform. So obviously, this being born out of the community is really great. And then also, something I've talked about is having a project like this that is actually focused on they want to get curators and they want to be really focused on curating threads specifically. I think is also a net positive for the platform. So I think that they'll have a really positive impact on the platform in general. They put like a benefiting Leo section here, so what they plan to do in terms of that. So like I said, I just think it's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of unfolds and develops over time. It's not something where it's going to be like an overnight, wow, this is really successful. But they put in there that they believe Leo's going to $250 million in terms of market cap over the next kind of like 5 years or so, which I tend to agree with. But if they're successful in that and they acquire just say a million Leo, which I think it will, like I said, be more like 1.5 before they even get into the leverage stuff. They would obviously be looking at quite a lot of dollar value at a $250 million market cap. So yeah, should be interesting to see how that kind of grows as the Leo token grows and the platform grows, and obviously our users are at all-time highs. So as all of that kind of continues, I'm very curious to see how this performs. So they are literally copying the MicroStrategy playbook. So that's kind of what I wanted to share here. In their most recent post, they were sharing, their transparency and reporting, and talking about how, they basically buy Leo and then they put out a thread and a blog post and they'll talk about how much Leo they bought and what they spent on it. And they're doing it pretty programmatically and strategically. So I definitely like seeing that as well. So you can see like it is like almost verbatim a copy of MicroStrategy, which I think is awesome. So they like this thread for example says LeoStrategy has acquired an additional 24,989.92 Leo for $1,403.32 at 5.5 cents per Leo. As of November 28th, we hodl 42,270 Leo acquired for $2,311 at 0.05 Leo per Leo. So really cool to just see like a literal copy paste of that playbook. I think it's going to be really positive for our ecosystem to have this project going and successful. So I know that they mentioned here because I was buying some LeoStrategy. So let me talk a little bit about that. So I, was buying a little bit here and there, a few hundred here and there. And then I just decided, I think that this is a really good thing. And the more I dug into it and kind of talked to some people, the more I realized that LeoStrategy would be extremely positive for the Leo economy. So I just decided to pull the trigger and I bought 10,000 LeoStrategy all at once. So now I own 10,000 of it. Like I said, their initial sale is 100,000. So I basically have 10% of the supply right now. The value's already up. So, I mean, I think I technically spent around $11,000 on this 10,000 LeoStrategy tokens, and now it's worth 14,000. So obviously that's a function of the high price going up. Nothing in terms of like actual market activity yet. But what I expect to happen is, I bought these 10,000 LSTR. I may buy more. I want it to spread to as many people in the community as possible. So I'm not going to just go out and buy all their supply. But I, just wanted to show my support and signal to the community that I'm confident in LeoStrategy and their ability to deliver on all of this stuff. So I think they're going to deliver. I'm pretty confident in their strategy and their ability to eventually go out and get loans against the Leo that they stake. So I will continue to probably buy a little bit more LSTR, but like I said, leave enough for the community to spread it into wider hodlers. So, what I expect to happen is they sell this 100,000, LeoStrategy initial sale. They go out and they buy somewhere between 1 and 2 million Leo. They stake all that Leo and immediately start earning. They're already earning curation rewards if you check their account. So they're already buying, staking, earning rewards. So that increases every time they earn a reward. You have to remember whether it's a blogging reward or a curation reward. That is more Leo for each LeoStrategy token that's out there. So just assume like let's just say that 2 years go by and they doubled the amount of Leo held by at LeoStrategy on the blockchain. That means that there's twice as much Leo now per LeoStrategy token for all the existing holders. So if Leo also is going up in USD value while the amount of Leo they hold is increasing, and that's just again from like income, that doesn't even include them going out and getting loans to buy more Leo. That's very accretive for anyone holding LSTR. It literally just means that all of us who hold it get more and more Leo per LSTR share that we hold. And we don't have to do anything. We just sit on these LSTR tokens, and I think one day they're worth a ton of money. Like if that thesis plays out that, Leo goes to a $250 million market cap, I think that would put, where would that put Leo? That would put Leo at a $5 per Leo valuation at a fully diluted value. So $5 per Leo. And let's just say that the fund has, I don't know, probably by that time, 2 or 3 million Leo. It would be worth north of, $10 million. So obviously with a market cap right now of around like 140,000, I think, that is a huge jump, huge increase. And that doesn't include any of the leverage. So that is just kind of like strict linear numbers. I think where things start to get really interesting is if the leverage comes into play, which I do expect to happen. So really the initial thing needs to happen is the initial sale needs to go through. They need to buy up a bunch of Leo. They need to stake all that Leo and start earning income on it, and also income on their blogs and threads. So they're earning income in all these different forms. They're reinvesting all that income into more Leo and staking all of it. And then they go out and use that stake as collateral to get loans from outside investors. So if they're successful in all of that, it just means that a bunch of Leo gets bought off the market. Leo's going up in price right now, as we all know. I think we're pushing about 7.5 cents. Altcoins are starting to recover. I'll do another video more broadly about that stuff because I just wanted to focus on LeoStrategy. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with how this project's developing, and I'm just going to keep a close eye on what they do. And like I said, they're following the Microstrategy Michael Saylor playbook. So I just literally put out that thread that said, what if there was a Microstrategy Michael Saylor type person in the Leo economy? And then here we are. They are just copy pasting that framework, and I think it's a net positive for us as Leo token holders. So whether you just own Leo and don't own any LeoStrategy, or you decide to own your Leo and have some LeoStrategy on the side, I think it's a net positive for all of us. So I think it's cool. I've got 10,000 LSTR now. I may buy some more. We'll see. I'm just kind of watching as you guys in the community buy some and it spreads out. So I'd love to see, even if you just buy one LSTR, just having it spread to as many hands as possible is something I've always been very interested in when it comes to the Leo token. So I think it kind of applies to LSTR as well. So yeah, keep your eyes on this project. I know they're putting out a lot of threads and blogs as they keep buying Leo. They've got just massive buy walls right now on the Leo token. So we'll see how much they can acquire as time goes on. But definitely something to keep your eyes on. And thanks for listening. So if you're not following my creator subscription, here's my little end of video plug. I do a video every week, and I do a newsletter every week. And then once a month, I meet with my subscribers, and they can see the Leo roadmap, see the things we're developing, and actually give me live feedback, and they can change the roadmap. So if you want, kind of more exclusive content that's like this, but about my other investments, and then also about, some behind the scenes behind what's going on with Leo and the development of it, follow my creator sub. You can subscribe using InLeo. So thanks for listening. Catch you guys soon.